Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a live coverage coming to you live from KTV2. The 45th Gulf Cooperation Council GCC Summit is scheduled to take place in the state of Kuwait on December the 1st, which is tomorrow, 2024. This annual gathering brings together leaders from the 6 GCC member states of Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman to discuss and coordinate on various regional issues, including economic development, security, and diplomatic relations. One important aspect of this year's summit revolves around regional security challenges, including cybersecurity along with digital transformation, with the potential for new agreements on cybersecurity strategy, as it offers a significant opportunity to advance regional and collective cybersecurity measures for long-term stability and protections. And a lot more right after this. Stick around. Welcome back. As usual, we have a very distinguished guest. Tonight is going to be Dr. Anwar Al-Harbi, Information Technology Expert and Head of Electronic Media Committee at the Kuwait Information Technology Society. Dr. Anwar Al-Harbi, always a pleasure to have you right here. And you're not a guest, you're one of our family. For those of you who do not know, he has lots of programs right here on Channel 1, the Arabic, and KTV2. Welcome back, Doctor.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be with you tonight, and I hope I can benefit all the viewers from this conversation.
This goes without saying. You know that the reason you are here because we would love to have a dialogue as well as to have some lights and shed the light on the summit which is going to take place tomorrow.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, this GCC summit is very important, the 45th summit, and it is very vital in many aspects. And as you mentioned in your introduction, there are some issues which are very important to us as a GCC countries and for us the citizens of those countries. And one of them, that is the cybersecurity or security in general. But the cybersecurity is a major item of the security nowadays, since the development of the information technology, the trends in the cybersecurity, the trends in the artificial intelligence, and on the technical, the clouds and what have you. So all those issues, the advancements in those issues, raised alongside some issues on this regarding the, first of all, the digital transformation. We have to speak about what is the digital transformation and how important it is for our countries, because it enhances all the new technologies in our life, for example, in education, in health, in our services. And if we say, for example, if we integrate our services in the health services, this means that we have a common platforms, more or less. We can have more or less like telemedicine or telehealth, which really will be very effective in reducing the cost. And all the records of all citizens of the GCC are there, so that if he travels somebody from Kuwait to Saudi Arabia or any other country, and he needed to be treated on the hospitals, his records, his analytics, his labs records are there. So there is no need for everybody to go and fetch everything from here and there. So there will be more or less connectivity. There will be very much.
What about education? What do you think of that? Do you think that all of the 6 members of the GCC on the same page, the same educational, the same curriculum of the whole thing?
You see, education is very vital and very important pillar of the advancement of any society. So if we pay a lot on this, we pay attention, on this, education is very important. If we speak amongst all the states, they have many universities, many colleges, and the advancement in this is very important. You know why? Because The more important thing is the lecturers, the teachers, the instructors, the professors who are going to deliver those. And these are all well known from all outside, from well recognized universities who have really earned their degrees with proficiency. So the education now is becoming, sometimes you need to do it online, some part of it, online training, online education, and there are very advanced learning management systems. So these are also included in the educational system. And this will improve also so that even the citizens, the employees in those countries can exchange experiences with each other, with like what we have sometimes. They call, I mean, the other day I gave an online training course for some people in Saudi Arabia. The special needs people, we gave them. So this is the education or the training, as a matter of fact. It could be done with ease nowadays. And of course the governments and the GCC pay a lot of attention to the education, because this is the basic infrastructure for the citizens to develop their countries.
Since we are talking about electronics and developments and the cities, there are some cities around the world, they call themselves smart cities.
Smart cities, yeah.
It took place in Jeddah, if I'm not mistaken, and United Arab Emirates. What about the state of Kuwait? Do we have it here? Is it in the process? Is it in the horizon? Yes. Like copycat what our sisters in the GCC countries?
Yeah, this is a good question. You know, this smart cities is very important. It is for urban design, for the development of the countries, for the transportation, and for even the grid, electricity grids. So if this is going to be taken into consideration, yes, in the newly built towns, these smart cities are taken into consideration, which means there are various levels of smart cities. For example, if you have to utilize the energy. For example, the green energy. When we say green energy, utilize the sun, solar energy. And this is going to be very important. Also the sewage, and when we speak about the sewage, we speak also about the environment, and we speak about how to protect our environment with the clever minds, of course, with the AI. And if we say the transportation, nowadays we have roads, and we have to put the expansion into consideration. So this is taken into consideration by the urban design, by the AI, the artificial intelligence, and of course, and thanks God, our country here, we have good cities. Sometimes we have traffic jams, sometimes, but this is obvious.
Nowadays it's all over the world. The traffic jams is everywhere.
A big issue. This is not a
congestions everywhere.
Exactly. I mean, we cannot say suffer and say what is going on everywhere.
Just like a population, it's exploding.
Exploding everywhere. So as a result, there is a traffic jam somewhere, here and there, and of course we need to go to some
facts of life. They call it.
They are facts of life. Sometimes
you cannot solve it. You can solve it here or there.
You can solve it in the future, in the expansion, and the new cities, the smart cities. There perhaps there's going to be a solution, because you cannot keep this road as we have to make them wider, they have to make them speeder, they have to build the bridges.
The European Union, it's kind of a little bit a newborn child. We were ahead of them back in 1981 when we united as states, the Gulf states, the sisters, all together. Everything's wide open, the borders are open for the citizens to communicate and also to travel here and there. All they have to do is just show them your civil ID. Over there they have the Schengen, but they have something else. They have the euro currency. Do you think nowadays, and probably in the future, we might have one currency for the GCC countries or not?
Well, if I want to be futuristic, it would be a digital currency.
Well, that's your field, because you used to have a futuristic program.
If I want to be. Otherwise, there perhaps be a Kuwaiti digital dinar. That might be in the future, you see. But I'm not predicting. This might be the norm after a while, because everything now is going to be in the wallet. You see, you can pay your money, everything you can buy from your mobile.
That's
and
correct.
Of course, these are the changes. And of course, well, hopefully there will be. And of course, this is that has some sort of economist side angles on it. And of course, it can help. But I think with the situation now, I think they are taking all the currencies in the Gulf, they are accepting it, they are treating it as one currency more or less. And I think this is very important also for the growth of the economy to unify the currency.
The artificial intelligence is going around all over the world.
Yes.
It started somewhere in the United States and it's taken effect in Europe and etc. What about us?
We are...
when I say us, the GCC countries.
The GCC. Well, I must say that in GCC countries, really, they are really ahead in this field. I mean, they established ministries, they established organizations, authorities specialized in the artificial intelligence, which means there is an awareness amongst those responsible people in the leadership that there is a need for the artificial intelligence to be included in our plan and in our future. Because as you see now, there are the artificial intelligence tools every day, perhaps, that are coming to us, and they are affecting our lives, improving our lives, and giving opportunity to, especially, for example, with the social media trends and the Internet of Things. These are the new trend technologies, the emerging technologies, they call them, who can affect this very much. And we are advocate. I mean, personally, I'm very interested. I'm specialized in this AI, and I really educate in this field for so many now months and years perhaps, so that we can have our people, our ministries, even our services need to be based on the AI, artificial intelligence. This will relieve people, the citizens and everybody, because then you are treating people who are doing this AI-based solutions, services, and you can get the feedback very well and in a very professional way, in a fast way manner, and you don't need to go to the human side of it, you see. The machinery, well, when we say the machinery, it is the artificial intelligence. The algorithms of this is very important to us.
Okay, before I break away, because we have a report, I want you to think about one thing. Aren't you afraid that the artificial intelligence might take over our society and our facts of life
And jobs.
Right after that? I want you to think about that and we'll come back to you.
Okay.
The GCC Summit presents a unique platform for member states to align their digital transformation agenda, fostering innovation and resilience in an increasingly digital world. All of that, you'll see it in this report.
The Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, has convened numerous summits since its establishment in 1981, focusing on regional cooperation, economic integration, and political coordination among its member states, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Recent GCC summits emphasized unity and collaboration in addressing regional challenges while discussing economic diversification, security cooperation, and strategies to enhance the Council's global standing. Unified policies have also enhanced the GCC's standing in global energy markets and international diplomacy, making it a key player in addressing global challenges. The 44th GCC Summit held in Riyadh last year reaffirmed the commitment of GCC leaders to advancing the GCC Customs Union and the Common Market, aiming to facilitate trade and investment flows within the region, highlighting the importance of digital economies with agreements to collaborate on cybersecurity frameworks and technological innovation. It focused on economic integration with renewed efforts to strengthen the GCC Customs Union and promote cross-border investments. Discussions also focused on enhancing joint defense mechanisms and intelligence sharing to address emerging security threats, underscoring the GCC's dedication to unity and proactive engagement in regional and global affairs, setting a strategic direction for the Council's future endeavors. The GCC summits consistently focus on a broad range of themes critical to regional integration and progress. The GCC summits provide a platform for aligning foreign policies, mediating conflicts in the region, and strengthening the bloc's position in international forums. As for sustainability and climate change, member states have committed to renewable energy projects, sustainable urban development, and environmental conservation. The GCC summits have played a pivotal role in shaping the region's trajectory by fostering dialogue and coordination, where the summits have strengthened intra-GCC relations and reduced tensions among member states. As the GCC moves forward, its summits are expected to focus on emerging challenges such as climate change, cybersecurity, and economic diversification. By addressing these issues, the bloc aims to enhance its global competitiveness and foster sustainable development. Strengthening regional security and expanding cooperation in technology and innovation will remain central to its agenda. The Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC.
While the Gulf states undergo rapid digital transformation and deal with evolving geopolitical tensions, cybersecurity challenges in the region, and a lot more. That's why we have the expert by himself, in the body, in the flesh, Dr. Anwar Al-Harbi. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Once again, he is the expert and the man who has a program regarding this matter, the one that we're talking about. Remember when I told you that the IA might take over our fact of livelihood and the life? What do you think of that? It might turn against us or not?
Let me say one thing. AI is created by mankind, by humans. So at some stage, it will be obeying what the humans are telling them. But sometimes, at some points, perhaps the cumulative learning, the deep learning, the machine learning, these concepts, these technologies are very important. And they might. At some aspects of life. For example, I developed, the Dama game. And this based on the artificial intelligence.
Now hold it. You have to explain to our viewers, what is that? This is just like a chess game.
It is a chess game,
It's a chess game, but this is a Kuwaiti game. They call it the Dama.
Yes, exactly.
And it used to be on the air back in the 2001.
Something like this, yes.
During Ramadan.
Exactly.
And it's a competition. The competitors go inside
with the mobile,
and play
with the PC, yes.
And at the end of Ramadan, people will gain some kind of reward.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Exactly.
They win it, and everybody is eligible.
Exactly.
Now you can continue.
Thank you very much for the explanation. In this, for example, this game, it is called AI-based game.
No.
It is a mind game.
Yes.
So this mind game is based on the artificial intelligence. The more I play, or the more I put it in the App Store or the website, the more people play it, the more it becomes smarter and difficult to be defeated. Why? Because it is learning, it is artificial intelligence based, so it will know all the plans, all the way that it cannot be defeated. It will make victory over these, because the more, if they play it 1,000 times, then it knows this game by the default, by the artificial intelligence built in it, that it shouldn't be defeated.
You mean that the machine reacts to the human being towards his steps or her
Exactly.
steps.
They know this, and they keep this in their
They
database.
can evaluate their behavior.
Bravo. That is very important. They evaluate, and then they can make new plans accordingly. This is one example. When I say this is one example, one aspect in gaming, of course, very important. But when we go to other aspects of life, people might be afraid that the AI can take their jobs. Well, this is liable, this is very possible, but not now. When we say we have an industry, where is the repetitive tasks sometimes, they need somebody to do it. For example, the robot. When the robot come to this, yes, they might have this task on, there is the threats. And this is the ethical side effect of it. But by all means, thanks God in Kuwait, we don't have this threat as yet. If we can manage to have an alternative to of course, we have a digital economy, for example, we have digital incubators, so for example, then this will enhance the people or make the new graduate, the fresh graduates, to go to this field so that we are complying. We are going hand in hand with the technology. We are not left behind so that we are fearing it. No, we are going it and utilizing it, using it in the professional manner so that we can uplift our society, our education, our economy, our industry, everything in our life, aspects of life, so that we can say that, well, the AI. Now, we have to have, of course, a strategic plan for this AI so that every authority, they need to implement, they have to have a committee for implementing the AI in their organization, in their authorities, in their ministries, so that they can catch up. Because as you mentioned, in Europe they are advanced, yes, in the United States they are advanced, but still we are technology lovers, you see. We love technology and we are utilizing it, And thanks God in Kuwait, we have 5G, we have fiber optics, so that all the infrastructure in Kuwait is set for the development and utilizing the artificial intelligence.
Dr. Al-Harbi, there are some kind of challenges in life, and
Yes.
it has to have some kind of contingency plan. What are the main cybersecurity challenges for the GCC countries in order for them to succeed in the cybersecurity?
This is a real threat nowadays because we are dependent more and more on the technology. Our lives on technology. You are using the iPad, we are using the iPhone, we are using the laptop, the smartphones, the smart devices.
Even the cars became smarter.
Exactly.
Now you can turn it off while you're on a different continent. Like just like in the United States, you can turn off the car right here in the Gulf states.
And everything, you can monitor your house from different places with this IP-based cameras. So say, and of course, Internet of Things is there in our houses. You can control and monitor everything, all machines there and the refrigerators and what have you. What I'm saying there that the cybersecurity is a big issue. Now we are, especially in the GCC, we are targeted by these hackers and these they want to intrude in our systems. You know why? For bullying. They want to bully. They bring down the systems, and they ask for ransom. And this is, of course, obvious because
And extortion, don't forget that.
exactly. This is, they want to damage, they want to manage, they want to keep, they want to utilize, and you know this is a $1 trillion business. The hacking system, the hacking. This is nowadays in 2023, it was $7 trillion US. Coming 2025, it is reaching 10 trillion. I'm not saying billion, $1 trillion. So it is very attractive for those criminals or cyber criminals who can't come to this. So we need to have a strategic plan, a very well calculated, well mannered, written, brainstorming to put all the elements for protecting our societies, our countries from this. Because you know, as part of the cybersecurity plan, there is warfare, they call it electronic warfare. So this is another aspect of it. We have to take it into consideration. What have we got? What plans for this warfare, the electronic side of it? Because this is very important. Nobody knows when it goes there. Who knows what's going on? Because this is electronic. There is no talks, no tanks, no mortar, no nothing. Nobody can feel it. Only the experts. So we have to protect our countries, our legacy systems from all those attacks, cyber attacks, I will let us say. And we have to have a strategic plan for the countries, for the GCC, so that we can really protect our societies, protect our citizens, protect our governments from those malfunction perhaps which can happen if we don't take this. So we have to take this, and of course we have to put the disaster management, cybersecurity, business continuity, innovations. We have to put this, and we built this is very important also, we build our own cybersecurity programs for anti-viruses, anti-spying, anti-attacking. We have to build this ourselves because we cannot just keep utilizing others. We have to build it. We have good brains, fresh graduates to do so, and I'm really...
You mean manpower?
Yes, the manpower.
So no matter what, you're going back to the human being.
Well, we refer again to the manpower.
You cannot live without human being.
Well, no, so it is there. It's very important. It keeps very important. It is going to be very important. We cannot live without the brains of the mankind and the humans, so that we might not be afraid, but we have to be, because the technology is very fast advancing, we need to keep up with it, to learn the new languages, to teach our students how to do this, and also our employees, our people. They have to be a public awareness. It is not only the technology that could help, because sometimes they can penetrate through the people who are ordinary people, who are ordinary workers, who are not aware about the cybersecurity. So there has to be in the organization a cybersecurity plans, also in the society.
There has to be an awareness for the public to know how to deal with the super
issues. Yes.
Now, addressing these challenges requires a coordinated effort at both national and regional levels, with the GCC Summit serving as a platform to advance these initiatives. GCC nations should enhance cybersecurity awareness among the publics to foster a culture of security. Going back to the doctor himself, he's the expert. How can the GCC nation ensure their digital inclusion and the technology access for all citizens. This is exactly what you were alluding to. You have to have some kind of a public awareness how to deal with the international.
I call it, I have a training course called Digital Citizen.
Digital Citizens.
And Digital Employees.
Uh-huh.
The digital employee is really, which is really very important. We have to, I will give you just highlights. When we say digital employee or digital citizen, we need to be, as part of the digital transformation, we have to have our society really transformed digitally from all aspects of life. You see, we cannot say that the education cannot be including. Now education in Kuwait, they have included, you know, by the way, they included the cybersecurity, the AI, in the curriculum, which is very good. I mean, I think in the 10th or something like the classes, and this is
10th grade.
Yes, 10th grade,
schools,
yes. Now they have in their syllabus, in their curriculum, they included the cybersecurity. They have included the artificial intelligence. They included digital transformation, which means at this early stage of the students, when we are getting the society or the awareness, really, because you know there are some 1,400 schools. If you are having 1,000 schools being educated with these technologies, that is very good. Now, what the ordinary people, the ordinary citizens, they might use the technology. Of course, we have to be very aware nowadays with these hackers, with these links, with these emails, phishing. Of course, these
phishing.
Are... Yeah.
What do you mean phishing?
Phishing, they use... You
mean the robot is going to fish for me,
no,
a fish?
No, phishing, no, not...
That's what you said. What was that?
No, the phishing is that they send an email with the link and they pretend that it is from secured, from authentic source. For example, yes, somebody you know.
Phony link,
yes,
something like that.
Yes, a phishing link, and then
to overcome your belongings inside
yes, exactly. So this is, they call this phishing, so that like you are fishing in the sea. But as a matter of fact, these are the links where they're contaminated links, you see, with viruses, with the bogus something, and then they have all the rights to come into your mobile and your bank accounts to steal it and then to do some damages to yourself. So we have to be very careful and we have to have this educational awareness.
Thank God we have you on our side. You can lead us and guide us to the promised land.
We are there. I have a lot of people around also who are aware of this and the keen and the country.
I'm not. I'm the most negligent person.
Well, you are a TV guy.
Universities and tech companies have a critical role in developing innovation in the GCC and by fostering close collaboration. Universities and tech companies can become the backbone of the GCC digital transformation and innovations. As the automotive and the automotion of the AI reshape the industry, there is a strong focus on equipping the workforce with digital skills, particularly in the fields like AI, cybersecurity, blockchain, and data sciences. That said, programs should be implemented to prepare youth and mid-career professionals, just like the doctor ordered, but this is just like the doctor said. Now, let's talk a little bit. We have my colleague is on location. His name is Abdulrahman Al-Mhanna, and he is the center of the GCC information. Not only that, the media, or the gathering of the media in the state of Kuwait. Mr. Abdulrahman, can you hear me? Well, look at you, looking good on the big screen. Abdulrahman, good evening, sir, and thank you so much for your patience. I have here with me here Dr. Anwar Al-Harbi, and we were talking about exactly what you are going to refer. Take it away, Mr. Abdul Mhanna.
Well, good evening to you, Wasmi, and to your exclusive guest, Dr. Anwar Al-Harbi, and your speech and also dialogue on the AI and cybersecurity of the GCC and even broader. I mean, I'm coming to you live from the media center of the Ministry of Information that has been organized for the GCC Summit, the 45th one, and also from St. Regis Hotel to give you the latest we have on updates for the Supreme Council meeting meeting, GCC summit, which marks 45th this year. I mean, Kuwait as the host has been the leading, as we know, and it led extensive preparations such as the inauguration of the GCC Pavilion, the Abdullah Salim Cultural Center, which highlighted a region's shared accomplishments and cultural unity, and aligned with the 45th GCC summit, and has been opened since this month, November 2024, and would be open until December the 13th, and would be to the whole public of Kuwait and the GCC member states and citizens, so they could find the shared visions of and accomplishments of the GCC, and marks the cultural landmark of the GCC. And now moving to the latest, we have on files that are high on the agenda. We know that the GCC have files such as the Palestinian cause, the file of Yemen, the file of Lebanon, and other countries in the region that are high on the agenda. And we'll touch upon that later with my exclusive guest that I have right here. But also we have an economic integration concept that has been on the table for years now and has been touched upon heavily currently, which could mark or signify something in the coming years for more collaboration, probably economically, between all the GCC countries. On that note, we could have more of a political discussion with the guests, an exclusive guest I have right here from Korea, Mr. Professor Kim Kang-song, who is a professor in Hangul University of Foreign Affairs. How was my Korean, Wasmi? That's better than yours. Mr. Professor Kim, thank you for being with us.
I'm honored to be here.
Can you please tell us, what do you think of the GCC summit from your perspective as a professor in Hangul University of Foreign Affairs and as a Korean present in Kuwait Media Center?
Yeah, given that this year's GCC summit slogan, Al-Mustaqbal College, GCC is the future. In order to address common challenges facing in the region, GCC can be a very crucial role in solving the problems such as the food security, energy issue, connectivity, a lot of issues. GCC countries came together and to solve the problems. So I think this kind of cooperation could be strengthened in the future. So that's why this country's collaboration is very prosperous and promising. I think so.
So you think the GCC summit would play an even more important role in actually implementing the ideas that you just mentioned on trade, transportation, and other factors, right?
Yes, exactly, including a lot of issues. I heard that now actively discussing railway constructions, and then new challenges such as cybersecurity, AI. A lot of new fields can be in an area where GCC countries can cooperate, because nowadays a lot of new kind of the challenges are rising. So GCC cooperation can even enlarge or further in the fields of the new vision with new very promising leaders came together in discussion in this kind of Kuwait.
That was elaborative. I mean, now moving to the media center, as you being here, you've seen the Kuwait's preparation. Can you briefly tell us what do you think of Kuwait's preparations and about the media center exactly, as you've been spending your time here, and maybe you've gone to also Abdullah Salim Center as well?
It gives a lot of attractions to be offered here. A lot of textbook, a lot of things to enjoy. And then when I see outside, numerous banners celebrating this kind of summit, and then people are very enthusiastic about hosting this kind of the big event in Kuwait. So I think my impression is the Kuwait government is well prepared for this summit. And then when I visited the Abdullah Salim Culture Center, the GCC Pavilion offers a lot of historical background of how GCC can cooperate since the 70s until now, and then what kind of the area should be strengthened in the future. So I think this kind of all activity demonstrates that how Kuwait is well prepared at this kind of summit. I really enjoyed as an observer in this kind of center, in the media center. I'm really happy to with this. Yeah.
So as someone from outside the region, as a Korean, you would say that Kuwait has prepared thoroughly, and the summit would play out really well tomorrow. And one part is Kuwait's leading and preparations that have been executed, right?
Exactly. Kuwait plays a very important role in this kind of hosting this kind of the summit. Actually, I might think that Kuwait as like a regional, like a very important country, like this kind of summit is likely to be very informative, very successful. So that's what I expected to do. Yeah.
Now, let's move to the last question. What do you think about the view of the world, or let's say Asian countries, China, Korea, or even the broader world, think of such exclusive GCC summit in any area, politically speaking or economically speaking? Have you got any brief answer on that?
Yes, as a Korean, like to be honest, like Korea is expected a lot of the GCC cooperation. Now, free trade agreement with GCC countries are being discussed by Korean government and GCC countries, and then actually GCC as a common like economic, very important economic international like organizations leading in the Arab world. Actually, Korea expects that in collaboration with the GCC countries together, we might be enhance regional like stability, regional like economic prosperity. This kind of the good maybe future like activity will be strengthened in collaboration GCC as a whole group. So that's what that's promising, and then especially for Asian like countries, including Korea, like might expect that this collaboration between Asian countries and GCC countries will be further strengthened in the foreseeable future. That's very promising.
So at the very end, Professor Kim, what some words would you say to the GCC summit which will take place tomorrow?
Yes, I hope as the slogan indicates, the المستقبل خليج اللغة العربية, like as a statement or like all leaders talking about the how to bring about new bright future. That kind of the exact goal should be included in the summit, the statement, and then actually the summit leads to very important achievement. I hope so. I really expect, and I really want to forward to seeing the very important achievement will be resulted. I expect it, hopefully.
Well, thank you very much, Professor, for being with us. Thank you. Well, dear viewers, as you've seen, the exclusive insight of someone who's outside the region, Professor Kim Kang-song in Hangul University of Foreign Affairs. My Korean is still better than you, Wesmi. Now, moving to important files, moving politically speaking, the GCC countries have important files high on the agenda. The Palestinian cause comes high on top of that, and especially on the recent turmoil that we've seen in Palestine by the Israeli occupation. The GCC countries have been supportive, providing medical supplies, providing aids. $millions have been spent, and also shelters to families dead and displaced families as well. And moving to other countries like Yemen, also by the UAE and Saudi Arabia and other GCC countries, $millions have been spent on Yemeni civilians. And in Sudan, where the war and violence has been going for long now, there has been encouragement of peace talks by GCC countries. They've been mediators in encouraging peace talks between the parties in Sudan, and also through international institutions such as the United Nations and other forms of help, and even international financial backings. And now moving to more important also file on the agenda, which are the economic integration. When we speak of the economic integration, we are speaking of very important files, such as we have the Gulf Common Market. That's one of the files that has been discussed and also founded in 2008 by Kuwait. We could have a shared market if implemented and realized fully between the Gulf. We could have a shared market between the Gulf, and we could have, let's say, shared markets, not in terms of like businesses and entrepreneurs, where a businessman or a business entrepreneur could open a business in other Gulf country with the same privileges as the national. But also when we're speaking of the stock market, where if someone wanted to trade in, let's say as a Kuwaiti, if I wanted to trade in the UAE stock exchange, I could have the same privileges as the UAE citizen under the conditions of the Gulf Common Market. And also moving to the custom unions laws, they're trying to unify policies, eliminate tariff on intra-GCC trade, and also implement external tariffs on goods imported from non-GCC countries. So if we actually get to a point to the realization of removing tariffs between us as GCC countries and including and having tariffs on goods coming from outside the GCC, we would boost the economy way more than the economy already boosted, and the GDP would be even higher than it is already. And we've seen that trade between, as an example, trade between UAE and Saudi have significantly risen after customs barriers were eased in the past years. And honestly, after we've looked at the ministerial meeting, the 162nd one, it might even be more eased in the coming years, as it's high on the agenda, the concept of economic integration. Because even if we look at examples from the European Union, one of the things that the GCC have been discussing is the unification of currency. But this is how politics work. Things get a lot of time to even be implemented. It took China more than at least 50 years to even get out of poverty, but even still, until now, people find that amazing, as in 50 years they have gotten rid of poverty, because politics needs years until let's say a leader could actually implement a big policy and a big change like that. That's how politics work. So when Europe was trying to find the whole European Union, the very last factor they have formed and reached is the unification of currency. So they've reached many factors before that, such as the unification of monetary policies, unification of some legal policies, some political visions that could be way came before the unification of currencies. And the same applies to the Gulf as well. When we speak in the term of the Gulf, we need years, but we should stick to the same visions and hope that we have, and still take the inspiration that we have from other examples that we have around the world. And we should end, of course, finally with the Gulf Railway project, an important one that has been touched upon a lot recently by the GCC countries, connecting all of the GCC countries with a length of 2,000 kilometers, and would be spent upon $250 billion just to get everything through it. And it would be not only to increase tourism between the GCC countries, but also to increase and even rise the freight transportation and decrease the logistical costs. So we've seen that because the UAE and Saudi have actually completed sections in the past years, and they've benefited from that, and they're targeting to finish in the coming years. And the Emiratis and the UAE have already the Etihad Rail, which connects Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and I think part of Sharjah as well. So eventually it would connect maybe most of if not all the Gulf, even to trade goods and services, not only transport people, which would add to the cultural ties and also the economic side of the GCC countries. And of course, I would like to end by giving gratitude to the Ministry of Information for putting all the efforts and excelling such great effort alongside with the Ministry of Interior and National Guard here at the Media Center. And of course, in the studios, my colleagues have been going live as well, doing as much work as possible to deliver the best picture that we could do about the GCC summit that would take place on 1st of December, Sunday, tomorrow. And all we wish for now is for the summit is to go as smooth as possible, and that most of the files that are high on the agenda would be implemented and realized in the coming years. Wasmi.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abdulrahman Al Muhanna. This is very excellent reporting. Thank you so much once again. Going back to you, Doctor, for those of you who just joined us, you're still with us here live with Dr. Anwar Al Harbi. He's an expert in technology, cyber. What else? Am I missing something?
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Let's focus on the universities and tech companies to, play a developing future to talent and fostering the innovation in the GCC countries. What do you think of that?
Well, it is very important to integrate the university, the establishment, educational establishments with the industry. In the West, normally the research centers are supported by the private sector. They get even for the research centers, the loans and everything for those students, research students, to finish their higher degrees. So this is one thing. Also, when we have this educational establishment implementing the new trends, innovations, for example, the new technologies, and they are the very part of the, like becoming a hubs for those people, the students, to get the latest technologies in their educational centers. And by putting hands-on, what is the benefit of having educational and technology center and the industry, so that these students can go to and visit while they are training, while they are studying, to go to visit the industrial part of it, to put hands-on, to learn. And part of the success should be there, spent there, and being in the colleges or in the industry. So this is what is the style of education in the West. We should get this and put also that these students, the graduation of those students, need to be part of the industry. When they have 3 months, for example, 2 months, they spend in the industry, regardless of the technology, but they have to be there in the fields so that they get hands-on, fresh hands-on, and they know what is going on from real experiments and real experiences from the experts they get. So there is an educational, there is industry, there are the students, the future leaders of the country. When all this combination are put together, then we are happy, and we will say that this society is really building on those graduates and those brains who can really lead the country then later on to the innovation, and of course to have a good positioning in the worldwide, in the cybersecurity, in the digital transformation, or in the artificial intelligence.
Ladies and gentlemen, since the establishment back in 1981, the Gulf Cooperation Council held various summits in which its member states address regional challenges, among other key topics including security and economy. Last year's 44th GCC Summit highlighted the significance of digital transformation, focusing on agreements regarding cybersecurity frameworks and technological innovations. All of that in this following report.
The Gulf Cooperation Council has long prioritized the need for enhanced regional security cooperation to address common challenges and maintain stability across its member states. In the line of this vision, the establishment of the Gulf Police Force emerged as a strategic move to strengthen security coordination and combat crime on a collective basis. The initiative was formally approved during the 33rd meeting of the Interior Ministers of the GCC member states, held in Kuwait on November 26, 2014. Shortly, the decision was ratified by the Supreme Council of GCC leaders during the 35th Summit in Doha, Qatar on December 9, 2014. The main objective of this force is to promote cooperation and coordination among the member countries' security agencies, enabling them to jointly tackle various forms of crime, including terrorism, drug trafficking, human smuggling, and cybercrime. The force is also decided to supporting the implementation of common policies and strategies aimed at safeguarding the security and safety of the GCC's populations. The Gulf Police Force operates with the broader goal of achieving collective security for the region, ensuring that all member states work together seamlessly to prevent cross-border crimes and uphold the rule of law. The collective effort involves regular exchange of information, joint operations, and the development of common frameworks for addressing emerging security challenges. Moreover, the force plays an important role in the training and development of law enforcement personnel, offering specialized programs to improve the effectiveness of security agencies across the GCC countries. The headquarters of the Gulf Police Force is located in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, which serves as the central hub for coordination and planning activities. This location facilitates close communication and operational cooperation among all member states. The force is made up of officers seconded from the respective countries, supported by a team of administrative staff from the GCC Secretariat, working together to implement the shared security objectives of the Council. While the Gulf Police Force has made significant strides in improving security cooperation, it faces several challenges. One of the primary challenges is the need for greater integration and alignment of security protocols, as each member state has its own legal and operational standards. Additionally, transnational crime, including terrorism and trafficking, requires the force to operate across borders with agility and precision, often under complex and rapidly changing conditions. Despite these challenges, the Gulf Police Force also has significant opportunities to expand its impact. Strengthening partnerships with international organizations such as Interpol can enhance its capacity to respond to global security threats. By further developing unified legal frameworks and improving coordination mechanisms, the Gulf Police Force can help mitigate regional security risk and contribute to the broader goal of maintaining stability in the Gulf region. In conclusion, the Gulf Police Force represents a crucial element of the GCC's commitment to collective security. Its establishment marks a major step forward in the region's effort to address shared security concerns and protect its citizens from the evolving threats posed by modern crime.
Ladies and gentlemen, with supportive government policies, the Gulf region is set to become a global powerhouse for technological and economic innovation, and by transitioning from digital adapters to disruptors, the GCC countries can significantly boost their digital economies, leading to increased GDP and employment growth. The GCC e-commerce and fintech sectors are poised to continue expansion, supported by favorable demographics and proactive government policies and technological and advancement. Collaborative efforts to address challenges and leverages opportunities will be key to realizing the full potential of the digital economy in the region. The GCC e-commerce markets its and expected to witness an annual growth rate of 9.93% from the 2024 to 2029, leading to a market value of $46.88 billion by 2029. Now back to our dear and lonely guest, Dr. Anwar. I hope that we are entertaining you as much as you are entertaining us. Honestly, now we have a very, very important question here. Before we go on the air, you explained to me that, because some of us, and I'm one of them, Fintech. What is Fintech before I ask you the question?
Well, this is called fintech.
Fintech.
It is financial technology. It's concerned or related to the financial and banking sectors, whereby all the financial transactions are there. So the trend now, the technologies is leading this fintech or the financial aspects. For example, now the stock market is sometimes controlled or not controlled
by computer,
by artificial intelligence. So that you can put some systems, indicators, these stock markets that could be affected, and then you could have some sort of forecasting using the artificial intelligence. Now, how, if you tell me how, do you believe in this or not, this is another issue, but they are using it at the present because they think that this is the technology So this is one aspect of the fintech. The
Fintech.
fintech is.
Do we have it here? Are we working on it?
There are. I mean, I had
They have it here.
I had an interview with some bankers. They are using this and they are implementing it. Fintech is very important because you know there are some legacy systems associated with the fintech. It is not only a word or terminology. No, it is not on a standalone. It has to be incorporated into some legacy systems for the financial aspect of the trading, for the e-commerce, for all the blockchain. They are including the blockchain and the fintech so that for more security, very important that transactions are more secure, because sometimes, as you know, the cyber security is a big issue, and one of the main targets are the banking systems. Yes, so that they have to have using.
What about the banks? I mean, to stop hackers from
Well, they are
accounts?
They are targeted from two sides. They are targeted from the outside and from the inside. You see, because sometimes some people, well, they don't stick to the rules. They don't stick, and if there is no governance in the banking system, IT governance, I must say. If there is no IT governance in the banking system, sometimes it might be some loose holes and loose points whereby some employees might exploit.
Loopholes.
Some might exploit those loopholes, and then this could be disastrous because for the bank. But sometimes, or nowadays it does happen, people go and attack those. They don't call it ethical hacking. They go and they do a hacking, and then they penetrate to the legacy systems. They steal the data of the information. For example, I've been called so many times from people from outside Kuwait that your card is being terminated and you have to renew it and you have to give us this. And there are some calls from pretending to be authorized and legal from the banking system. So these are threats for the banking systems, establishments to take care of, not to let this happen, because you know the reputation is very important for the banking systems. If any banker or any banking system get penetrated or hacked, that reputation will be damaged.
Loses customers and clients.
Exactly, you lose a lot
Loses
of
money too.
This is at the end of the day, it is money. It is transfer. You can say that how many million you can lose, because the reputation of any establishment, any financial establishment.
They're looking for security and stability for any bank. So if
and business continues.
If you have a bad reputation of hacking, somebody hacked you or penetrated to your logs, that goes all the money.
No bank can afford to have their systems 10 minutes off, or 1 day, or 1 hours, because you know 10 hours. This is all will affect, because if these customers cannot enter the systems, they will be very sad. They will be upset. And then their reputation will go around. The rumors will go out there. The system has been hacked. And now some systems are trying to be hacked from those outsiders.
Finally, in regards to other issues, the GCC countries are increasingly prioritizing the climate change and resources management in their national agendas, despite being historically reliant on hydrocarbon revenues. The GCC nations are taking proactive steps to diversify their economies, reduce carbon emissions, and promote sustainability. Having invested heavily in renewable energy, especially solar and wind, to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels. GCC countries are also incorporating the circulating and the economy principles to maximize resources efficiency and minimizing the waste, along with investments in green industries such as clean manufacturers and sustainable agriculture as part of broader economic diversification strategies. One last and final question: what are the technological, honestly, just like we are talking here? You have heard me talking about all of these things. I want your reaction towards that.
Well, it is very important. I mean, I had one presentation for using the AI, the artificial intelligence, to fight desertation. I mean, this because you know the desert was a very big area in our country, and we have to have new technologies, a new Internet of Things, for example, to utilize it. Second thing, we are using the solar energy, or the green, and we have to emphasize that we can use.
That's how we are going to protect our climate.
Yes, climate, yes, and of course, and the energy also, the sustainable. We have to be in sustainable society.
And the main thing, it's our you know, the soil and also the air and the whole world. Because
also the pollution. We have to
pollution.
use the new technologies, the GIS, Geographical Information Systems, to measure the pollution in the air, in the sea, everywhere, so that you can have readings beforehand, before anything can happen. Because sometimes there are some poisonous spills on the water who can kill the fish. And you see, this
Not all of the fish is going to kill us in the future.
in the future.
Because this is the main source of our water.
Exactly. And if
The sea.
The sea. And if this is being contaminated with some waste, and we don't have this waste management systems, this is going to be a threat, as you mentioned, to our life, to our future coming kids. So these are the important things. Also, when we speak about the waste management, we have to use really the important thing is that we have to have, because you know sometimes, for example, the tires, the everything, we have to use the electronic waste. This is we have a special treatment so that we can utilize it or recycle it, so that we can benefit from all those waste and recycling. I think these are the issues. We can make with big industries who can increase, as the report said, we can have big income out of this. Of course, I emphasize on the digital economy, because you know, who are the biggest company in the world? Now, Apple, Google, and you name it, you see? These are the new things. AI, Open AI, these are the new trends, the billion or trillion. They are worth trillion. Why? Because these are the digital-based economy. And they are bigger than even countries, their country, this capital, their worth. They're worth more than $1 trillion, some of these companies. Why? Because everybody is living and depending on the digital transformation, living on the digital assets, living on the digital gadgets, living on the digital smart devices. All of these, a combination of those, make big industry. If we can concentrate on one aspect of those industries in the digital world, we can make really good revenue. And we also employ our people, our students, our people to get into these factories so that they can make really new. With the digital incubators, I think this is very important.
As usual, it's a pleasure having you, Dr. Anwar. Thank you so much for this input.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Pleasure. I'd like to thank our dear friend and guest of the house, not the house, it's the studio. We call it our house, Dr. Anwar Al-Harbi.
I am with you. I am one with you. Yeah.
Our pleasure. The Gulf Cooperation Council is at a pivotal moment where technological and innovation, entrepreneurship, sustainability, and regional collaboration are shaping its future, from addressing cybersecurity challenges and fostering digital economies to spearheading efforts to end climate change mitigation and also resources management. The GCC countries are demonstrating a commitment to resilience and global leadership. The integration of emerging technologies coupled with investments in talent development and regulatory frameworks positions the region as a hub for innovation and growth. At the same time, it's a proactive approach to tackling climate changing and ensuring the sustainable sources use, underscoring the GCC readiness to meet challenges and contribute to the global progress. With collaboration among governments, industries, and communities, the region is poised to transform into a beacon of opportunity and innovation for the world. Well, unfortunately, this is the end of the line. Thank you so much for sticking around. We have a lot more coming to you in about now, right? I'm done with you. Looking forward to see you in the future. Until we meet again, take care of yourself and each other and enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye-bye.